Welcome to We Should Probably Edit This.
But we won't. This is about our life's messy journey. It's unscripted, talks about growth, real laughs.
Sometimes real laughs, sometimes just the chaos, and we think there's a little bit of comedy here.
Yeah, everything.
It's about our 37 years of marriage and our experience. I'm Matthew Greger.
And I'm Nancy Greger, and we're your host of We Should Probably Edit This.
But we won't.
There you go.
And we probably should have edited that. So, here's our next episode.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the next episode of We Should Probably Edit This, but
we won't.
Yep. So, I kind of want to talk a few different things today, but the first one is when we're trying to find something, or when we're trying to, when I tell you something, and I know that I wrote it down, and I said, didn't you see it? Or when you sent me something, like the other day, I have to make adjustments to my 401k, and so you sent it to me, I can't find it. Sometimes it's just those things that we think we told each other.
No. Don't say that. Because I went back and I saw the email that I sent to you. What I didn't find was what was attached. But
Right.
I did send it.
And I swore I've already read what was attached before,
Correct.
too.
And so there we go.
Where did it go?
Where'd it go?
But I know there's times that I'm thinking of things that I need to talk to you about. And then the question is, I ask you, well, didn't I tell you about that?
No. Let's just give a really good reference to today. Because here's the story. I fell down coming out of church. And I said to Matthew, listen, the orthopedic emergency is open until 2 o'clock. I think just for precautionary sake, we should just go.
Well, let's back
look.
up a little bit. What?
So, wait a minute.
Okay.
So we go. The nurse comes in and takes me to go get x-rays. This is just a really good indication of how our life is. And we've been married almost 38 years. So I go off, I get my x-rays, and I'm coming back. I had to go to the bathroom. I come back.
So but wait, I'm on the Zoom call with our friends.
And he was waiting, right?
I'm sitting in there waiting. I'm going, man, they must have had to take 10 different x-rays
and I walked
all
into
up and down
a room
everything.
and went right in, sat down, and waited for the doctor. Doctor came in, and we talked about the x-rays, and we talked about what we did. And
I heard the noise in the next room, but I didn't think it was you.
And the doctor says to his medical assistant, well, let's go and check her out. And the medical assistant's like, well, who is she? And the doctor says, this is Nancy Greger. We seem to be missing. I had the whole office in total disarray because I walked into the wrong room and the girl who was there had already been checked out. But the doctor thought he had 3 patients. He only had 2. And I was one of them. And then my husband must have got out of the room, which was right next door. And he comes in, he says, listen.
Yeah, he came in looking in the room. I'm going, I'm just waiting,
He was like, he thought he was a patient, and he's not a patient. He was just waiting for me. But I discombobulated the whole office and went into the wrong room.
That's like our communication half the time anyways. It's like, I know I told you about it. I know that I is it. And actually, sometimes I can find, okay, did I send you a Facebook message? Did I send you an Instagram message? Did I send you a text message?
What was it?
Where was it? Where can I find it? Now, I don't remember exactly what I said, so let me try to find it so I can see where it is.
So that's just a kind of like a flavor, if you will. And that just happened today.
Yeah. So how do you think our communication is?
I think we all have great intentions, and maybe 75% of the time we're really good at it. It's the other 25% that something's happened. And in this particular instance, probably with me being stressed, hurting my knees and hurting my hand, I just was in a stressful mode, and I didn't think you left me. I figured you were just waiting for
But
me.
see, you
But
actually went in there and you thought, where did he go?
I did.
You said you
I
thought
did.
maybe I went
I
back to the
did.
waiting room or something.
But
But
they didn't say to me, they just said, go back to the room. So that's what I did. And I saw the door open and nobody was in there. So I just walked on in, not really comprehending that. And I said to the doctor, I said, I didn't hit my head. Another part that didn't hit my head. So it was kind of funny. But that for me is kind of like a symbol of the two of us from time to time, is that we think we said it, or we think um, the other guy should know, but
I mean, some of it's intuition. We know.
yes.
Okay. Other things are. I think the thing that gets me the craziest sometimes too is right. I have to remember that when I text her specifically, that I do it in one bubble at a time. Because if I have too many bubbles in there, she won't go back and
So the
read all
first
the ones.
bubble.
She'll only read the last one. And so, but the problem is sometimes the train of thought, I'm in that mode, and then it's just like if I pause to wait for her to read the first bubble before I move to the next thing, then it's like, okay, then I've lost it. But if I send them all, then I said, well, didn't you read the rest of it?
Here's the trick. You just have to find the humor. It is funny, and if we get too serious with each other about it, it won't really go anywhere, and it just cause you to
In the
be
moment,
angry.
you kind
In
of
the
just
moment, you'll just look at each other with a face, but later on, and I wasn't even in that exact same moment. I laughed myself because I knew that it was me. I caused the hysteria around in the office, in the doctor's office. It had nothing to do with anybody else. But I said, I even told the medical assistant, I said, Dean, I'm really sorry I threw you off. I didn't mean to throw you
they
off. It
couldn't
wasn't
wait
my
for two
intent.
o'clock to come soon
They
enough.
couldn't wait till two. They had the cookie lady who fell down come in at that exact moment. But
So let's talk about that for a minute. So what
what is there to
happened
talk
today?
about? I was I wasn't looking at my phone. I was talking, and I had turned my head to talk to my son about something.
Now
I
turn
knew
back
what it
here so they
was.
can hear you.
And then I said, and the curb was there, and I just went down.
Yeah, I was like, I was behind you,
And
and
my
next,
son was next to me, like kind of like in front of me, and the next thing I'm on the
I mean,
floor.
she hit hard.
Yeah,
It was like there was no, sometimes when you feel like you're gonna lose your balance, you can kind of like catch yourself.
I didn't.
Nope, it
There
was
was no
straight
caching.
wham
Yeah, and so
on your both knees
both
and your
my
wrist to try
knees.
to
Yeah,
break it.
and chances are, because I'm right-handed, so my right hand side is a little bit stronger. I emphasize the right hand side, hence why I hurt my this part of your inside of your hand. So I didn't break the wrist, but man, it hurt. And I just sat there, and there were a lot of people, and they all came to my rescue. Everybody was very, very, very kind, and I just sat there and said, "Don't touch me, just leave me. I'll figure out how to get up." But it took me a little bit to get up because my knees were in almost instantaneous pain. And it was kind of like I needed to be able to know I could stand up and not have broken something in that joint. But took me a little bit, and everybody helped me up. And I got up, and I just stood there, and everybody was very, very kind, very, very kind. But then immediately you heard, "Should we call 911? Do we need the ambulance?" And I'm
Yeah,
like,
because they had walkie talkies. The guys
they
that
had walkie
do the
talkies,
crowd
yeah.
control. Because earlier they had another incident where they actually had an ambulance
Yes, and the fire
and
and
the
the police
police.
and everybody
They said
came in.
they were thinking, "Oh my
And
gosh, do we
this,
got to do it again?"
yeah, and this was a transition between services, right? So we ended the 9 o'clock service, which ended at 10, and then the next service was coming in. So people were coming in, so it was very, very active. Um, but it was just a fluke. I just went
Yeah.
down. I went down really hard.
Well, I think that shows you how fragile we really are. I mean, no matter what your age is, it's
Yeah, if you were a
things can
little
happen.
kid, you would have bounced right back up. Trust me.
Right, but still things can happen.
Correct.
Okay,
Things can
things can
happen.
happen
Things
out
can
of the
happen.
blue before
Yeah.
unexpected
Totally
completely.
unexpected.
And when you're a little older, I would say like us in our 60s,
It takes
those
me
kind
a
of
little longer to get up.
but those kind of critical mistakes can really set us back,
Yeah.
because it's like we had other plans of things to do today too, and to be fully engaged in other things, and it takes you off course. And so the question is how do you deal with things when they take you off course that you didn't expect? No matter what it is, whether it's a slight injury or something else, you can get all upset about it, or you can just, this happened, now I have to deal with it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. This happened. Now I have to deal with it. And the doctor said, he goes, I can give you some pain medication. And I said, no, it has ibuprofen in it and I can't have ibuprofen. So he says, well, then you're just going to take Tylenol. I said, I know. I'm used to just taking Tylenol. But in any case, it just means I'm a little sore and probably next couple of days, but I am going to Miami to see my grandchildren. And trust me when I tell you, I will muster up every ounce of energy I have to go and complete that because I really do want to see my kids and my grandchildren. So I would
So
definitely be going.
So you have a goal in mind, and you have a desire and a direction
Just
to
refocus.
get better,
Just
right? So
refocus.
you're going to do what you can to take care of yourself, so
Yeah.
that you can make the best out of the
He
trip.
said, he goes, listen, he says, no bike ride. He says, you got to give it a few days just to see if there any fluid build up on my knees.
I mean, see, that was the other thing too, because it was cold this morning. It's still cool. It's
It
in the
is
50s.
cool, but
It's
it's
in the 50s,
sunny.
but the sun's out now. And today would have been a perfect day to go on a bike ride,
Or walking.
and go for a nice walk and everything. Do you say you can't walk too?
Pretty much. He said, just
Give it a day or
because
two.
because it
Yeah.
just happened today. He said, he said to me, he goes, do you have to go to work tomorrow? I said, no, I'm going to work from home tomorrow. He said, good. He said, give yourself a few more days of being able to elevate your leg. So he says, it's more like elevating the leg, putting the leg down, putting weight on the leg, normal things. But what's not normal is I have to elevate. So he says, going to work would be kind of complicated if I had to elevate my leg and ice it.
Yeah.
So
So
he
you
says,
got to ice it
I have to ice it.
after we're done with
Yeah.
this,
So
right?
he's like 20 minutes on, a little bit off, 20 minutes on. But he said most especially, he says, just for the knees, just make sure that if you see that the knees are getting too big, they're going to get bruised. They are bruised. But if you see that there's
Retaining fluid.
retaining fluid, he says you have to come in because we're going to have to drain that fluid because it's in your joints and it's probably not the best place. But in any case, I
So I
said,
mean,
okay.
so that was a setback today.
Yes, that's a little
It's
setback.
like an unexpected
Little
setback.
setback.
Like why did this happen? I'm coming out of church. Come on, God, what'd you do to me? Here, it's like, we don't know why it happened.
It just happened.
It just happened.
That's why it's called an accident,
Right.
because things just occur. It's how you respond to it that really makes the difference. And I even said we had a Zoom call today with other friends of ours. And at first I was thinking, can I do that Zoom call? And then I said to him, I said, okay, listen, the orthopedic closes at 2. He said, so let's try to explain to people, we're going to come on, we're going to stay on as long as we can, but we may have to jump off while we go to
Yeah,
urgent care.
we each take turns just kind of just updating each other.
Updating each other on
So
what's
we
going
just said
on.
we had to go first because we
Yes.
had to leave, and then we tried to continue the call
While we were
remotely
transporting,
while
while we were driving,
Yep.
and then he stayed on the call while I was in X-ray and everything else, and then we ended up back home, and then we were still on the
Yep.
still on the call, so we were able to kind of just tidy it all up. But it could have been a lot worse. In all honesty, I mean, I really could have broken something. In which
Yep.
case,
They brought you a wheelchair.
they did.
They were ready.
They did. The
they were
church
ready
brought me a wheelchair, ready to wheel me over to my car, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's okay. And then the other guy said, can I help you up? I said, I have my husband and I have my son. So between these two grown men, they're going to help me get up and
Get to the car.
and get me to the car. And then while I was in the car, I had a drink with ice, and I took the ice out and was able to start icing my knees because it's still hurting. I'm not going to lie. It's a little bit of a throbbing sensation right now, but
Yep. So I mean, it's really about how you personally deal with those things that happen, whether it's an unexpected something or it's an accident.
Mhm.
It's
When you're in
how.
that moment, you're angry. Don't get me wrong. When
Yeah.
you're in that moment, you're really
Well, I
angry.
mean, were you angry or also embarrassed?
I don't know if I was embarrassed because I felt as though I wasn't surrounded by strangers. I was in church.
Yeah.
And so far, everybody that I met in church has been very loving and very easygoing and very attentive,
Understanding. Yeah.
understanding.
Yeah.
And so I didn't feel embarrassed. Um, Number one, I didn't feel embarrassed because I was in an immediate amount of pain. Like when you're in that kind of pain, you don't care who's around or who's seeing you or what they're even trying to tell you.
Yeah.
You're in that moment of instant pain that you just just it reminds you of the time when women would know this, when you're in child labor and you're going through it, that enormous amount of pain that you're going through. You don't care where you're at. You don't care who's in the room. You don't care about anything else because you're in that moment
Of dealing with that
of
one
dealing with
thing.
that
Right.
one thing,
Right.
that one immediate pain. So for me, I was more like, Nancy, can you move that leg?
Yeah. And I didn't know what to do. It's like
And it's not
typically.
anything. Not anybody could do anything. Sometimes you have to assess those situations yourself. And I had to really, really think. So was I embarrassed? No. Was I thinking any? No. I'm literally holding on
And
to
you're
one
you're you're
leg.
seeing whether or not you can actually function.
That was it. I was like, can you move from this place? Can you
Yep.
do that? And
Yep.
if you can, how long is it going to take you? Because I was like, walk around. Everybody walk around. Because if it took me 20 minutes to get off that floor, off the concrete, then that's what it would take me.
Off the roadway, off the driveway. Yeah.
Well, it was like pavement.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
was this wasn't grass.
No. It did not have any bounce factor or
So
give
I
factor.
so I think when you're in that exact moment of time when something is going on that's throwing you off your course of what you were planning on doing, I think you're just addressing that immediate issue at first. You're not really focusing on what it was I wanted to do that day, what it is I'm going to do that week. You're in that moment. You're
Right.
in that moment, and you just
Then
got to
after
work it
after
out.
you get yourself together and we get to the car and you start to thinking, okay, now it's like, okay, how does this alter what we have going
Yeah.
on?
Like I
Right.
said to him, I go, well, we have to go to the grocery store, but I vote, I stay in the car and you go inside.
Yep.
And that's exactly what the boys did. They went into the grocery store and I stayed in the car, just focusing on what I needed to do for those two and seeing whether or not really truly this was going to be an emergency visit or I could just bypass it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go because I've broken a finger before and didn't think it was broken
You're
and it
gonna
ended
go
up
where?
broken to the doctor's.
Okay, okay.
I was going to
Gotcha.
go and figured, you know what? Let's play it safe. Let's not put myself into a torturous situation. If something
Right.
is really wrong,
Right.
then I need to address it.
Right.
Like what's the point of being brave and saying to
Or
yourself,
let's wait till the next morning and wake up.
what if the leg is swelled up to a balloon or I can't move my hand?
Right.
And so hence I made that decision to say, you know what, you need to go. Just have it checked out.
I'm probably a little more stubborn, probably would not have
You
made that
would,
decision. I probably would have suffered through it,
yeah.
which is not always the best choice. It's just like sometimes being a guy or me in particular, I feel like, okay, I don't need the doctor. I don't need to see them.
I think it's
And I think that's something that I'm trying to come more to terms, getting my health to where it needs to be. Things don't function or work the way they used to. And I'm still trying to figure out, why I can't just drop 5 pounds like that anymore.
Yeah.
Why
'Cause you're
things don't work the way they used to. Because what?
because you're old.
I still don't think I'm old. I
Your body is at
in my mind, I'm still that 18-year-old at times, but I realize I'm not. But I also don't feel like I'm in the 60s either. So I don't feel like I'm at that
well,
level.
that's good. That's a good feeling to have. However,
I know there's reality of what you
when
can do or
something
can't do.
happens
Yeah.
to you or you're unsure as to why you're not able to do something, I think that's where, it's always good to go see a doctor. Because now, don't get me wrong, I've argued with doctors in the past and said no.
Well, I think that brings up another thing is that you need to be in control of your health.
Correct.
And you need to understand
What's going to work for you?
and what to ask. I
Correct.
think that's more important.
What you're gonna tolerate and what you're not gonna tolerate. What you're gonna be really good at and what you're just not gonna do. So there's no point in pretending or saying to
I mean, it's
somebody,
also if you don't understand what's being told to you,
you have to
you need
ask,
to ask
explain it
questions.
again.
And if you're going to see a doctor, you need to have an intent in mind of what that is, what the outcome that you're looking for, and the right questions that you have to ask,
Right.
on it. And that becomes more and more important.
The older we get.
And we need to take control of our own health because a lot of situations you're not seeing the same doctor. You're not seeing the same people who you would hope would have a history of you, and the charts only have so much information on you.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's very few situations now, or there's very few doctor cases, or you having the ability to go and see the same doctor and over again.
If you're talking about a general,
Yeah, I'm talking about like a
business.
primary care physician.
But even like I have specific doctors I see all the time because I have specific issues that I have to deal with. So it's a little bit more easier for me to feel. I will say to you that I live 45 minutes away from where some of my doctors that I go to. Some are a little closer. Some of them are back up in my old town. I will drive to the old town if it meant that the practice that I've been going to for years is the practice I want to go to.
I'm just saying there's so many urgent cares in different places
Yeah,
now
yeah.
that a lot of people don't have that consistent doctor
Consistent
that's
doctor
in
that
place.
so you
need
do
to
have to know your own
Right.
self. You
And
do
I mean,
have to
I've
know
always
yourself. I
wanted
agree.
that doctor. I started out with them, and I said, "Great, I got a relationship I can have with someone now." And before you knew it, they moved on.
Yeah.
Or they brought somebody else in, and they switched doctors on you.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the healthcare provider that we have now. They've changed at least 3 or 4 times since we've been with that group. From the very beginning of when we started to where they are now, and they've been bought by other larger companies.
Yeah.
It's just
But you know what? This to me is really an excuse that you like to put in front of saying, I don't want to go to the doctor because he doesn't know me. That to me is an excuse.
Well, and that's what I'm talking about.
That's not to me a reason not to go. You have to understand people change, people evolve, people move on. And so if you know yourself, that's the best way. You could go in and you could say to a doctor, hey, I was 40 and I could do this. And now I'm 60 and I can't seem to do it. Why? And let them explain to you what potentially could be. And then you could say, well, what about if I do this? You have to become more knowledgeable about what things are nowadays because you're right. Doctors aren't going to spend time to sit there and hold your hand and do whatever. And some of the doctors that I've known retired. And so you have to figure out, okay, well, you're retired. Now I got somebody else. Okay, let me bring you up to speed about me and what I like and what I'm willing to tolerate. And then we kind of
that's what I mean about it. That's why it's so important that we have that history of ourselves and that we're able to express those things.
But in the same token, you can't use that for a reason not to go to the doctor. Just saying.
Just saying.
It's not a reason.
Right. I know it's on my list to find to
It's not to find. It's just to go.
But also to find the doctor and to get some tests done.
go and say, this is what I want to have done. Do
Okay.
you agree or don't you agree? And that's it. It's not a matter of waiting. Doctors are not, they're humans. It's not God you're going to go see. You're seeing another human being who hopefully has enough medical understanding as to what they're doing, right? That's all they are. They give you their best medical choices. Sometimes the more specific illness that you have, the better off you hoping that they're able to study that
And
area.
there's a lot of things out there right now. You've got peptides, you got
Right.
all these different things that are out there. There's a lot of changes going on, with health right now that I think it's also going to be able to solve illnesses before they even happen. I mean, there's a lot of tests that you can do, a lot of different scans that can happen, a lot of stuff with gene research and things that we really need to take advantage of and to be able to understand and know our body so that it can even early detection of things that can be going on that we're not aware of.
So you learn, but you got to go.
Right.
Bottom line is you make the appointment and you go. You got to get your teeth cleaned. You got to go get your eyes checked.
Yeah, I got it.
There's no AI to help you with teeth cleaning or getting your eyes checked. You got to
Okay.
go.
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to you.
Okay. It is time for an eye exam. And I do need to have the teeth cleaned again. Sometimes, yep, I'll admit, I just don't want to take the time to go and do those general maintenance things.
So
You do.
And if
You take care.
I do. I do. And that could very well be that, I don't have that stigma or that fear about the doctors as
I don't have
much.
a fear.
I don't like dentists, don't get me wrong. The dentist is probably my biggest fear. It wasn't until I had to have root canal. I didn't go see a dentist for over 10 years. Almost 15 years before I went to go see a dentist because I had a tooth problem. If I hadn't had that tooth problem, I wouldn't have seen that guy. I would have just kept on going. But I had to learn,
You've
and
done better since then.
I have done better since then. Because I think it's important that when we're 80, we still have our teeth and they look somewhat decent.
Right.
Okay, they look somewhat decent. And as far as my eyesight is concerned, I think that's just a progression. As we get older, we tend to have a little bit of a visual problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely time for that because now I need the glasses that I can see the dashboard and I can see distance. Right now the dashboard's blurry and I can see distance fine. So sometimes I have to move the glasses to see.
Yeah.
If I really need to see the dashboard.
As you're driving, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. Oh, wait a minute. But those are the kind of things you have to do for yourself. It cannot be something that we do for others because you have to figure out
No,
your
but you
schedule.
can, as a married spouse, you can encourage them and you're taking this podcast moment to tell me to go see the doctor, to go get my
But I've
eyes
told you to
checked,
go see the
to
doctor.
get
I've
my
been
eyes
telling you to go
checked
see
and
the doctor when you couldn't lose 5 pounds. I said, go see the doctor. Go have a conversation with the doctor. Maybe you need a little help. Maybe you need to figure out something. Maybe you should go get a full blood workup to see what your hormone levels and what your vitamin levels are all about. Go, because there's no home remedy test for that kind of stuff.
Well, I have been using the rhythm test.
Yeah, but how's that working out for you?
No, it tells me things. I just don't understand it.
And there,
All the
and
time.
there you go.
And there you go.
And there you
I
go.
understand.
There you go. What's the topic of
No,
conversation?
we're pretty much down to
Are we
2
down
minutes.
2
yeah.
minutes? Well,
Yeah, so
anyways. So next weekend, we're going to be in Miami.
yeah, we've already skipped 2 weekends for different
We
things.
did.
I traveled to
We
see
did.
my parents.
We traveled to see your
And
parents.
I'm not
last
sure
weekend.
why we missed the other weekend. We got
We were
Oh.
busy entertaining with somebody
Yes.
who came to the house, so we weren't able to stop what we were doing to set this up.
then it got too dark.
And then it got too dark, and God forbid we don't have enough lighting. So I'm not sure about next weekend. We'll just kind of play it by ear because I am specifically going, as I said, to see my son and his wife but to see my 4 grandbabies and to try to convince my youngest not to call me Gigi, but to call me G-Ma.
Because that's who you are. You are the G-Ma.
I am a G-Ma.
And I'm the G-Pa.
You're the G-Pa. Now, if she calls him G-Pa and she keeps calling me Gigi, her siblings and I will have to have like a deep conversation with her. But I'm so looking forward to it. I haven't seen them since Christmas. So I am looking forward to seeing them.
We went down there after. Didn't we go down there?
Nope. We did not go down to.
We went down there before the holidays.
Before Christmas and before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But they came up for Christmas, but we haven't seen them since Christmas.
Right.
So
Right.
we're going down there to see our
Of course we are.
crew. Our crew.
4 days though. 4 days.
That's our limit.
Yes.
And our son laughs, but he appreciates that we said 4 days.
Because he feels the same way about it. Come the 4th day, he says, "It's
time for you guys.
Time to go."
It's time for you guys to go.
And on that note, it is time to go. So we should probably edit this.
But we won't.
So until next time, you guys have a great week. And remember to like us, share,
And
make a comment. Send a comment.
Follow
us.
make comments. Spread the news. If
Spread
you
the
don't
joy.
mind. Share our link with others that you may think may find us interesting or have a topic that they might find interesting.
Right. Bye.
Bye.